And you gave her detailed instructions on how to find the right one.
Yeah, I'll give her the name of the Anastriana and everything. What? This is where it's gonna end up.
No, you're not allowed to know about the blacksmith either. I don't trust her!
After this, I wanna pull everyone else aside other than Cadoc.
And she gets Cadoc off the carriage and starts moving towards the blacksmith instead.
Redwood.
Okay. Well, I want to tell everyone else that I told her where we're staying, and I'm having her drop everything off at the blacksmith so that we can go there after we're done turning this guy in.
Okay.
How far along is Skull on the switch weapon designs?
What Skull would know is that he would need to visit Anastriana soon, since she should be wrapping up her half the deal.
Yay!
I also want to tell my compatriots here, not fucking Cadoc, about the scroll that Thola gave me.
Okay.
So that they're fully aware of our arrangement.
Did you just make sure it works?
No, I haven't.
Use it immediately.
Well, it's not limited, is it? It's just like your basically page space is the limit, right?
You would have to use it to find out.
Shit.
Should have asked her.
I'll use it later. I'll use it once we get back to the tower. That way she has time to go on her way and everything.
Okay.
Let's go turn this motherfucker
With
in!
that, you are all headed to the guard. It's gonna be funny if Nate ever comes back. Yeah, you've been in jail for a while.
Roll to escape.
Pretty much.
Also, the rest of the party is 5 days away. And also on a different plane of existence.
Could happen.
He's just like, what the fuck?
So, you're all headed to the center of the town, the tree itself, and you start climbing the stairs on the outside with Cadoc bound by a rope. You all get up to the main guard station. You enter into a familiar room. There's an elven man behind you.
I knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and they just hear a voice inside say, "Come in." And you enter into the familiar waiting room. There's an elven man behind the help desk.
I appreciate your door respect.
And in the area behind him, you can see other guards moseying about, some doing paperwork, some chatting it up. But you're at a lively scene as it would be at the guard station.
I'll walk up to the...
And one more thing is you notice... You know that this guard station's had a billboard. It usually has these wanted posters on it. But at the moment, there is only one flyer there, but you are headed up to the window.
I'll check out that there flyer.
Alright. Skull! This flyer mentions... just how about an initiative to see who just goes first, since you're just going to turn Cadoc in and...
Well, I rolled a 1.
Skull, you notice that this flyer
I tripped.
mentions
You made a fool of yourself first time in there.
something about an upcoming festival, the Summer End Festival, and that there will be this big tournament hosted by the
You can fill it up and throw it away.
Fenris. It is your turn.
For real?
What I have to say about your tournament, Jacob?
Is that what you really did?
No, it's not what I really did.
Okay.
It's what I really want to do, though.
Why? Why do you want to avoid it?
Fuck that. The guard's just like, hey, I worked for a long time on that. What the hell, man?
So it's mentioning about how there's this upcoming Summer Ends tournament hosted by the Hunt of the Skull Guild.
Oh.
What?
My namesake!
Touch of the skull.
Well, that's what the name of the place was. How the grand prize for it is 10,000 gold pieces.
And a giant forehead. Weird.
So I okay.
And to enter,
Got a plan. So this is titled "The Hunt of the Skull."
yeah, that's the name of the guild.
Okay. Oh, well, does it say it's a guild name, or does it say it's the Hunt of the Guild?
Hosted by the guild, Hunt of the Skull.
All right. So what? So there's an entry fee.
Where's the skull? I'm the skull.
Yes, it would label it.
They're hunting
It shows
you.
the grand prize at 10,000 gold, and second prize is 1,000. Third is 500, and fourth is 250. And at the bottom, it mentions the entrance fee is 15 gold pieces.
Does it give any more information?
Yes. For more information and for entering the tournament, visit the guild.
All right.
And there's a small little diagram drawn showing that it's on the edge of the west side of town.
He's the best side.
All right. I walk up to the window with Cadoc in tow, and I present the bowl.
And as you're bringing him up, the man behind the desk is so what's going on? As he sees Cadoc is bound in rope, and you're just leading him up to the desk.
I present the bowl, and I proceed to tell him how this miscreant that we ran into on the road.
I did no such thing. They attacked me, and now they're trying to steal my things and turn me in for
Heads
something.
up. It's time for me to cast Donut Truth on this bitch. So, I just got that spell. Fuck you. So,
I
Are you
think
really?
he has
yeah.
He's got to make a
If it
saving.
comes down to it, I'll
he
do it.
does.
Well, let's just face it. Like, you probably don't even need to. Like, Cadoc already proved he's a terrible liar.
Yeah, I'm just
So
saying, if it comes down to it,
These-
I do legitimately have that spell.
These
now, so.
ruffians, they said they would bring me back to town, then they dragged me on this journey, and now they're gonna turn me into...
Listen, Jacob, you're playing Cadoc way
Yeah,
smarter
no,
than
you're
Cadoc is.
so much more competently than he's been so
I was
far.
just gonna let it go down to the...
Yeah,
his
I'm just giving you
failures as a
shit because
liar.
Cadoc is a terrible liar.
I do legitimately
All right.
have it, though.
Basically, I was gonna do it, since I can't really be Nate, I was just gonna give him disadvantage on lying.
So
You can't play as badly as he was, so you're just gonna give him a disadvantage.
No, if you played as badly as he was, then you'll say one thing and then immediately contradict it with your next sentence. I didn't.
Look how cute these things are.
to the guard, I want to say
I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
we saved him from some other
They
bandits
end up in shoulders.
where
Actually,
he was
driving off
pretending
the-
From
to
my
be.
friends!
They got.
Yeah,
He was
they have
pretending to
Yeah,
be
skip problems.
They got.
Uh,
Skin, that's not skin
nobleman's-
problems, they have skin needs.
Vassal.
They get skip
I
problems.
am not
Essentially.
pretending. Look at the way I'm dressed. I am a noble.
He has a fake ring for a noble on him.
Does this ring look fake to you?
Can I investigate?
The guard is having a hard time believing Cadoc. When he presents this ring, as he doesn't really recognize it as any sort of noble class. He's something he's not familiar with, so he's got nothing to base.
Didn't he flat out tell us who told where he stole it from?
I don't remember if he told us where
No, I'm pretty sure he
stole
did.
it from.
I remember
but
him telling the
he,
basin.
He
but-
flat out admitted that he stole this basin
I acquired the basin. It is
through
mine.
thievery.
I was gonna get up.
Oh, fine.
You're doing the Zone of Truth.
Yeah.
Do on a charisma saving throw, which is his best stat.
Yeah, he has to have one good stat.
What is your yours is a 12, correct? Your
what?
DC
Your spell
Because
set
you-
DC.
is going off your wisdom, so I think it's a 12.
Yes.
It meets, and since he's not here, the odds go to you.
Yeah.
So at this point, whenever he's was talking about how he got the basin, it's like, just because I stole it from some back ruffian out, and he suddenly just clams up as those words flow out of his mouth.
I look at the guard and go,
I got lots of
there you go. Here's the thief. Here's the item. I don't know who it belongs to.
Not
It's your guys' problem now.
So, Grant, there's a super easy way of getting around Zone of Truth.
Just put this on.
We had dispel magic, but
Well, that too, but you also just don't have to talk.
that's why I said he clams up.
Yeah.
But at that moment he failed, so he was going to spat out something. And then he stopped talking once he realized it. So yeah, but you got a confession out of him. The guards will now take him and the item into custody.
Thank goodness.
And you see him guided to the back area. And the man at the front says, if there is some sort of reward for his thievery, we'll contact you, but...
I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, no, this is rewarded now. So,
We just didn't like the guy.
yeah.
He takes that note and, well, thank you for your... what are the right words? He's thanking you for your help, but there was another way to say it, and I just blanked on the words. Generosity?
No, generosity wouldn't be the right. Thank you for your...
Public service.
There,
Yeah.
that's about as... Yeah, that's probably as clean a way as you can put it, so...
And after that, you're pretty much wrapped up with the Cadoc story for now.
Yes.
Cool. Is Skull still
I can't
looking?
hear you,
I
man.
said I'm going to end up going shopping, Jim.
Okay.
Is Skull still looking at the flyer?
Yeah, well, yeah, he would still be over by the billboard.
Slightly crumpled now, but he's still looking at it.
I want to go look at it. Be like, what you looking at? Skull?
And yeah, you can see the words displayed announcing a tournament happening at the end of the summer.
Hey, Monday, is this the guild that we were going to go to sell shit? Anyway?
Yes,
Yeah.
you've been there. You're the only
It's
person in the
been-
party that's been there.
It's been
That's
literally
fair. That's
in
close.
game time days,
you can
but in real life months.
Convenient. And I just put it back on the wall. But I don't
Alright.
pin it, I just slap it on the wall.
So,
The pin was already there. You slap it onto the pin, put
just
it on
goes
the
back.
paper.
the first chapter with Cadoc come to a close. What is the group doing now?
Let's go sell what we can sell.
Well, we'd have to go to the blacksmith first,
You can do it in
Get
whatever
whatever we're
order you
gonna
want.
sell,
It's just,
and then
what do you want to do?
go
Do you want to
sell it.
split up and hit two fronts? Do you want to go as a group?
I'm gonna go visit Anna.
yeah, let's go visit Anna.
Let's for now, yeah, stick as group and stuff, and then towards the end, once we got the majority of the stuff taken care of, we can split up. And
Yeah, then we can split up.
No one
Go
wanders
by the
alone,
Great
so no
Fox.
one gets pickpocketed.
Yeah.
Shit.
And that- Pretty much that's all count.
Listen, I got some good ass spells and I'm gonna fuck someone up if they pick my pockets this time.
I've already proven that I'm willing to beat the shit out of somebody who steals and stuff.
I'm just saying, the main reason he got pickpocketed last time because he was by himself. He was a clear target. You guys head off towards the west side of town. It takes you like an hour to get there because of the size of the town. And you're but it's midday because of how the traveling lined up and when you got here. And you are now coming upon the blacksmith, and it's the building in the sun. It's bathed in sunlight, and once again on her billboard you can also see the same flyer. And I would assume Skull would be the first one to walk into the place. And you do not see Anna at first because right now that one of her apprentices is behind the desk.
Which one?
Gotta make sure you say the right race and gender
Or else.
because she only has two. You see the copper skin tone and the pink eyes of a male human currently behind the desk, seems to be taking notes of sorts. And upon you entering in, the bell going off, he looks up and sees you. And
I've met her apprentice, haven't I?
you've seen them briefly, but she's mentioned you specifically to them because of your special order. So he actually recognizes you immediately upon you coming in. And
Well, I'm pretty sure whenever I made that door in the
that's when you first saw them.
yeah,
They didn't stay
I was gonna
around
say, I've
long.
seen them before
Yes,
in the
you've
shop.
seen them. So yes, you're at least familiar with the fact that they reside here. He sees you come in and says, "Oh, you're the one, right? Skull."
He nods.
Yes. Anastriana said she was just finishing up a project of yours. I'll get her right away.
He nods.
he heads into the back room, and you're all waiting. And a few minutes go by, and Anastriana, who before now I didn't really give a height to, but since she's a returning character, she will have a height now.
Yay!
As she is a 5'10" elven woman. And she comes out, she's holding this large burlap sack kind of tarp in her hands. Her skin is noticeably covered in dirt, sweat, and grime, and she's coming out and she's, yes, welcome back, Skull.
Anna!
First, she sets down the things on her desk and she comes and gives you your hug.
Yay!
I just finished up this morning, and she begins to unravel it, and you can see all the parts, some big, some small, and there are even a few extra parts there. And actually, I'm going to roll to see how well she did during the crafting of these days. Okay, fine, fuck it. Okay, she did really, really well.
Yay!
You can tell these parts are finally crafted. There are mini Pete's, some duplicates in case something goes wrong on your end. And she says, I followed your...
Nothing.
I followed your blueprints to the T, made a few extras. It should all be ready for you to finish. And more good news. I don't know how long this is going to take you to finish. But if there was ever a time to sell this, it needs to be done by the end of the month. There's a festival coming up. It's going to bring in people from all around. Different races, different professions. If we're ever going to sell this, that would be the best time to have this done by. And you now see this before you. What do? Now, you would know, since you made the blueprints, it would take a combined of like 10 days work between you and Anna. That she spent the first 5 and you would be, the other 5 would be on your end. Because
Skull's gonna start working.
Right in the shop?
Wait,
Right now.
you gonna bring up the metal?
Yeah.
So this isn't the best environment for you to work in. And she's actually, I'm excited about your enthusiasm. Is there another place you can work on? I've still got to run a business.
Oh, yes.
Very close place to the fire.
Also, I have 2,000 pounds of metal.
Is that what that was? Yeah, someone dropped it by earlier. It's out in the back. I wasn't sure what they didn't talk about it. They just said it was for you and your friends. Yeah.
The metal needs to be reworked due to its decaying stature, but once again, this could be something we would work on, especially would allow us to basically make free models in the sense of not having to actually pay to create our final masterpiece.
And with the amount of metal you say you have, this will definitely save costs. Essentially, at this point, for any thing you make with this metal, you won't have to spend any money for the materials, unless you need something specific for the project.
Oh. No.
But I guess, are you wanting me to hold? Well, since you're wanting to refine, I could work on making it a more useful material if you're wanting me to hold on to it for now.
Yeah, because right now it wouldn't be applicable in its current state to actually work.
Now, Skull, you also know, for this project you've been dreaming about for a while, you're going to need roughly 1,000's worth of materials to make it.
1,000 pounds?
Your construct. 1,000 gold.
Oh, that's right.
But you know that your pile of metal, if it's in a usable state, is worth somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000.
Hey.
But it's all material. It's just metal. So, she could refine it for you and provide it for your immediate use for the project. But you also, we'll say on your journey back to town, you noticed that you had a few extra blueprints that you had crafted along the way to and from the cave. So the first is the blueprint for the body of your construct. The second is for this bracer, which is used to tie the construct to you. And the third is for it looked like a potion of sorts that requires several materials, and that would be the heart of the construct. To make the body and the gauntlets would require you, an artificer, to make. To make the potion would require someone trained in an alchemy set to make. You also know that the ingredients for the potion include a durable metal, preferably something better than steel, the heart of a powerful magical beast, and a few plants to make the solvent to combine the two.
We have the dragon heart.
Oh, that's right, we do.
So we have one of the pieces.
You technically have two at the moment.
Yeah, because we also have
Skull has a
metal.
few ingots that could
So
be
we would
used.
just need to figure out the plants for the solvent. And since I've been messing with plants, I might be able to.
Now, as far as I'm aware, no one in the group is trained in the alchemy set yet.
Yeah.
And to become trained, you would need to either do it yourself over 10 weeks or find a tutor over 5 weeks. Or find someone else to make it for you. And your best guess, based on everyone you've met, would probably be Marvin, if you were to kind of hire someone to make it.
Who's mine?
Magical Marvin. He's got a shop.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not going back there.
You don't have to go back to Skull. You could just send someone else to cover up your dirty deeds.
Skull doesn't even know he stole something. That's beside the point.
I mean, you do have the criminal background, so depending on what kind of criminal you are. It's what you wrote down.
There he called that.
But yes, that is what you'll need
Don't
for
speak
this
like that in
project.
front of my child.
And constructing
Criminal.
constructing the body would take 4 days. Constructing the gauntlet, another 2. And the potion, you're not sure because you're not trained to make that. So it would take you like 5 days to finish the weapon, 6 days to finish everything except the potion for your construct. And while you and Anastriana are having this conversation, at one point she kind of brings things to a stop and asks you, do you know anyone named Fenriz? A letter showed up for him a few days ago.
What? That's...
Is that you?
Yeah.
She goes up under her desk and she pulls out this letter. Says,
We live here now.
yeah, someone dropped this by and it's got your name on it. It showed up like 2 days ago.
Does it say who it's from?
No,
I know
it
it's
doesn't
from.
say on the outside. You'd have to
Who the
open
hell
it up.
dropped it off?
I know who it's from.
Do you?
I can sense it.
The darkness.
You can?
Starts with a G.
God.
Nose with an X.
God.
Into an X?
Technically. The second word.
God, X.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but whatever.
Gray Fox.
Oh, into an okay. But he's not the gray
Oh,
fox.
but
He's
that's
just
words.
been called the fox. But
Oh.
you're not wrong.
I open it up and read it.
I
My-
feel it in the bones.
The letter reads as follows: in
Sorry.
common.
They sent us something.
In common because he wanted to make sure you could read it. My dearest Fenriz, I hope your trip into the forest went well. Once you get back into town, by the time you receive this letter, it should be... Let's plan a date 3 days in advance. But 3 days after this letter's dropped off, please meet me at this lovely tavern on the west side of town. Come at nighttime, we'll have a nice little get-together, just you and I, and have our exchange.
I have my little
And right there at the bottom it says, P.S. Do come along, won't you? And it's not signed in a name, but it's not signed at all because you know exactly who it is. He didn't feel the need to put anything.
Man, you
This
guys,
motherfucker thinks I got his shit for him. He is sorely mistaken.
you guys are that close that he's willing to just assume that you know who it is. That's cute.
Kind of start writing the fan fiction.
So yeah, Spinner is reading his letter. The two of you, are you doing anything while you're observing the scene that these other two are having?
No, I don't.
I guess I'll pervade the shop again to see if there's anything newer that I haven't seen yet.
You don't see anything new, but you also get this feeling that maybe the master craftsman's been doing something else for a while.
I see.
Sure.
Is that mithril scimitar still there?
Yes.
All right. How much was that again? Like $250?
We'll go with 200
All right.
if you're interested in buying it.
I'm thinking about it. It's not a no. It's not a yes right now.
I'm not really doing anything in here.
All right. Finner is based on the letter and the fact that she told you to ride 2 days ago. You think this appointment is happening tonight. But aside from that, what does the group want to do next? Skull already got his plans, I assume. Gonna immediately go back to the tower.
Yeah, I was tempted just to go through the tower now and shut the door behind me.
Unless someone stops you, you could easily do that.
That's what I'm thinking about.
There are some boxes hiding the door,
Yeah.
but you could easily move those out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way towards the door because I don't give a fuck about this fox guy.
Skull just kind of takes the exit.
I didn't tell you about the letter anyway.
Skull takes the door that you know leads to this training area that she has set up and just walks out.
Well, I need to go sell those pellets and stuff, get us this money and stuff, and then I need to go shopping for my stuff. Who wants to come with me?
I'm gonna get all our
Guys all
shit
accompany
to
Monday.
where it needs to be. It's not gonna sit in her area, except for the metal because she's gonna read.
I'm gonna tell Ratoris where I'm going.
Alright. Well, upon discussing
going alone
plans with
again?
Anna, she said she would have
I'll
her
be okay.
apprentices move it in the bag
I'll be
since
okay.
she'll be holding on to it for now.
I hope you're right.
And I move all of our
Did you
other
need
crap that we got
Alright.
into the actual tower.
I say, hold on. I'm going to go.
Which does include this rather large skeleton, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him if he's willing to wait a little bit.
Who? Which one? I kind of missed that part.
Fenris.
Finner is waiting for something. Okay.
What I want to do, I want to go to the local charcoal guy and buy 10 gold worth of charcoal and incense.
Out of curiosity, what do you plan on using with this?
For fine familiar.
Alright. Yeah, if you all want to set out and do your shopping together, or
Yeah, I'm fine with shopping.
whether you want to sell first or buy first.
How much time do I have before this meeting is supposed to take place?
It is midday, so you have 4 to 8 hours. He just said nighttime, and he gave you the name of a bar, which I've got to come up with, but yeah, you've got a few hours.
Okay.
Legitimately,
Yeah, I'll-
then with a couple hours, might make sense for me to wait till tomorrow to go shopping for my stuff, so I can wait to do that and sell the stuff, get your stuff.
What kind of stuff are you buying that you have to wait till tomorrow?
You're buying a lot of shit.
I mean, if it's just basic... Oh, you're doing the food thing.
The food thing, I need to get a wagon, I need to get
You
some
could
sort
get
of
all
van.
this done today, since you're not, like,
Well, I mean, go...
buying anything
All right.
crazy. You've got a few hours.
nothing
You just
crazy.
got to have the money
I
for
just
it.
want to influence Skull
That's why I wrote it on the map.
subconsciously to
Everything
make,
has my money.
because you're making the advanced weapon.
I wrote down donkey or draft
Okay.
horse. I didn't know what would be more
Influence
common
you
to
mentally
find
to
here,
make
or if one was
a
like
few
if donkeys
different
weren't available here. Or
potential
not.
ones.
I wrote down the price next to them, what they're.
Follow me and brainstorm with me.
Donkey.
After I,
You're more
set
likely
this
going
up,
to be
I'll-
finding, like...
yeah, I'm
Right
gonna,
Instead
now, I'm
of
just moving
horses,
shit,
you'll
so-
find deer in,
basically
as
I'm going
mounts
to
in
be
this
metagaming
town.
piece of shit.
So a donkey will be one of the harder things to find.
Well, I mean, I'm willing to break down. Like I'm just saying, like those were like the base things that are in PhD.
You're not
that
really
you
going to
buy.
find a draft horse.
Alright.
Thola's horse was kind of out of place. You would find more of a draft stag, if you will.
How much would that?
It would be the same price. It's just instead of a horse, it's a stag.
All right, that I'll go. I'll break down and get that instead.
A moose? I think a moose is what you're going for.
Because if it's straight up like as big as and strong as that,
Then
then that
it's
would
a
be
moose.
that'd
It'd
be
be
a
a
moose.
moose.
And moose and elk, they're pretty similar in size.
You would just
Moose.
basically you're finding something from the deer family rather than the horse.
Okay,
Mooses.
yeah, moose.
Rice,
I'll
rich.
go with
yeah.
moose. So
Do you have the gold for all
fungus.
this?
I have it on the opposite side. Yeah,
Okay. I was gonna say we do have 55 gold in
So
the
you just
party
need
fund.
Tatamant rocks.
I know. Okay, I put that gold there.
Alright.
Obviously, you just need
If
I
you
just
re-
wanted to make sure that you were using
Yeah,
it. It's gonna
I'm
be
draining
cheaper
out the
for
majority.
I'm just going to say
Yeah.
basically you would have to roll a check to find the donkey, but everything else you can.
don't need a
I'll get the moose then instead. So like it's I only put down the donkey because I didn't know if like how easily it would be to find just
Of everything on
the
that list,
specific-
that would be the hardest thing
Okay,
to find.
I'll just get the moose then. So
Mooses!
Mises.
Wouldn't it quite
Mooses!
Oh wait,
Wouldn't
I
it
actually
quite
did
kill
already have it. It was called.
There's no-
I forgot I didn't make a name for it.
There's
It's
no
called
mooses
the
there, there's only-
the Cherry Moon
Guys,
Tavern.
Oh,
Cherry Moon Tavern.
Yes.
and then for the meat from the board, how much meat? So I can write it down so I can actually have it here with the list of all the.
We'll
stuff.
figure that out. Not
Okay.
right this second, but you got a lot.
I can wait.
But yes, so you're all
How
moving.
many boars were there?
There were 5 intact.
So 5 intact,
And then
so
one was
you're
already cooked,
judging
so-
about roughly 40 pounds per boar. You got a lot of fucking meat.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have
And
enough
in fact,
of the rest
it
of the
was-
stuff.
You were kind of pushing
Yeah, but that's
Thala's
assuming what
horse to the
did
limit with
damage
all the
when
weight
fighting
of the
it,
things you
bones
had.
and
We'll have to end
stuff
up
like
parting with. We'll have to end up
Or
parting
about
with some of
to
the
find
stuff.
But I kind of forgot you had these
Probably-
skeletons strapped to the
probably
roof.
twice
So
after
Oh.
that.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of shit.
So if we didn't have the skeleton, it would have been okay.
the
I thought you were
skeleton
saying-
definitely made the fact that she said that she had to hold the metal in her bag because of how much metal there was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we can probably purpose some of the meat.
Well-
I just a decent amount.
I just thought of something. We're still using this wagon, right?
I made sure.
No.
You get teeth.
She
Dola
took- she
Dola
took hers
dropped
with
off
her.
your things and she said she had to leave.
Okay, she's dropped off all the bones and everything.
Yeah, all the stuff that was outside the smith's house and Skull took whatever wasn't metal to the tower.
Okay.
Because no one followed him and therefore the door is
I was
closed.
to say, it'd be drawing fucking crowd if we had the bones just out on display.
Thola drew a crowd as she walked through town, but you kind of split up, so you
Alright.
didn't get that reaction.
Alright, so like I was saying, I want to go to, I don't know if there's a shop or just some peasant in the middle of town who does charcoal, but I just want to go buy some from him.
You go to the marketplace that's in the center of town. That's where you're going to basically find just about anything. If there's something that's not in the market, I would roll a chance for it being somewhere else in the town, but the market would be the go-to place to find that.
Alright, it's for 2.5. Electrium are worth like 2.5 silver, right?
2 electrium equals 1 gold.
Okay. Alright, in that case, I'm going to buy 10 gold worth of charcoal, so that's 20 electrium.
Okay. Yeah, the 3 of you went to the marketplaces to start buying things. Skull, you're back at the tower with things. What were you wanting to do? Well, actually, yeah, you get to the tower. You're in the outside the tower. You can see some of the twig blights. 2 of them seem to be in the archery range. One of them's trying to shoot the target. You can see a few off hanging near the garden area. What were you wanting to do?
That thing on your head.
Now,
Is the doorway to Anna's closed?
if you closed it, it would be. It's closed. You guys now have a 4-hour walk to Iapo and you don't know it yet. To the tower. But
I think to myself it would be real convenient
How much silver goes
if
into
this
a gold?
had as much rare metal in it as possible. And I open the door.
make your knowledge arcane check.
Hey Jacob, how much silver goes into a gold? Is it
10.
10? Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Work.
Do you need a little bit more?
No, I'll be fine. Okay. I'm just figuring it all out so that way I know how much I
hear you
actually
well.
have left. But I know I'll have some.
As you open the door, it's got a storage looking room, and the only kind of metal you can see inside is copper.
It's like it. Filthy copper pieces!
You have 100 gold's worth of copper.
Copper can be useful.
It is definitely a precious metal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but Jill hates copper.
I
so-
fucking hate copper. It hurts me. That's my metal. So, well, how many pounds? It was just 100?
Yeah, 100 gold's worth of copper.
100 gold.
Some are in the shape of a crude ingot, some are just sheets of metal. There are bits, pieces. It's just random.
After I get the
formations of
stuff
copper.
out, I'm gonna slam the door and it's like, I'll see you tomorrow.
If the door had sentience and a voice, it would say, "See you tomorrow."
I say, could you roll to intimidate?
Sure. Why not?
Intimidate the door.
Intimidate the door.
Yeah, I'll still have 77 gold after all this. So.
Okay. Are you
15.
using all of the
You hear
points?
this sad
No,
creaking
I'm just using
sound
mine.
when you slam the door
Okay.
Oh, my
shut.
phone.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah,
It better
especially
be
for
better
the
tomorrow.
larger than some of the other ships, since it's going to be used for the party.
And now that you've
I mean, I
collected
was
the metal,
getting-
what were you
I
going
was
to do
getting
next?
away initially because of all the extra weights.
I can't use the door again till
So,
tomorrow,
I mean,
can
yeah,
I?
you can. I
That's
have
been
no
your
problem
observation
loading
so
that up
far,
and
yes.
stuff. Like the
I
food
thought
wasn't a
3 a
GSP
day.
for me. I was
It was
gonna
just
say.
You
one per
never
person.
took
Because
the
you
time
can
to
get different
truly
foods and
figure it
stuff
out.
for
Yeah,
different food
we
if
know
you
it
get
at least works per like 3 times a day for 3 different
or if it
people.
comes
That's
down
about
to I
all
can
the
sell
information
food
we
off to
have.
People, like making, I did it once.
We don't know if that's a restriction or maybe it depends on how much it's being able to reach per day or what's going on, but I collect all my stuff up and then I start trying to put this doodad together.
Alright, so you enter the tower, and before you is an unusual scene. What you can see, you see Climb on one end of the circle, and then you see the other twig bite, whose name you haven't learned, on the other side. And at first,
There's 8 motherfucking twig blights, isn't there?
these are the 2 needle blights.
I know.
What were you talking
There's
about?
how many blights are there?
You've counted 17 living ones at the moment.
Okay. Damn, there's more than I thought.
Yeah. Most of them seem to hang out in the garden.
That's why.
But what makes this unusual is let me find the list again so I make sure I say the right colors. For Climb, you can see his eye sockets, since he doesn't really have eyeballs, his eyes are glowing an orange color. And for the other one, his eyes are glowing blue. And as this is happening, they are both like making motions with their hands and body. And over the snare, his name's Snare, you don't know it, but the snare has you can see this aura just filling over his body, and as it does, the circle around him glows blue. And for Climb, you can see
I smell.
in a sec, you can see as his eyes are glowing orange, a spectral hand of orange mist forms from his hand and outstretches across the field, and the circle around him glows orange. Make your arcane check.
I think it's 16. Yeah, 16.
16 total?
Yep. I mean, I could lie to you and say it's more, but...
You could, but that would just hurt my feelings.
Hi.
Now, in the past, when you first met these blights, at one point you asked them a question. Do you know magic? At that time, they responded, no. But now you're clearly seeing them displaying magic, and
Liars!
you you were able to decipher that Climb has cast the cantrip Mage Hand, and the other one has cast, I believe it's
Conjuration.
Blade of... Mage Hand is not Conjuration.
Isn't?
And the other one has cast, I believe it's called Blade of Ward, which gives him resistance to piercing, bludgeoning, slashing. And yeah, you can see this display before you.
Conjuration cantrip.
Mage Hand?
Yeah.
Did I write down the wrong one? I wrote down the wrong one. Fine.
Chill out,
it's
Ben. It's not that big a deal.
It's a different spell then, because that wouldn't line up. But you're seeing them display magic. I have to figure out what spell he has then, but yeah.
They can use magic.
Yeah, the principle's still there.
So Skull, how do you react?
How long were we gone from the tower?
5 days.
Alright.
Besides smelling them and I know what the magics are,
Mm-hmm.
well, I continue on walking. Pretty sure I'm not the one who asked about the magic, so...
You don't
It
even
was
question
either
what
you
they're
or
doing?
Finrez. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Though I do take note of what's happening. Are they accomplishing anything, or are they just...
You know
playing?
that they're lighting up 2 of the circles.
Okay, that's about it? Okay. I'll tell Benrez, he'll probably give a fuck.
And what were you planning on working on first?
The weapon.
Okay.
Because that one has a date, I have to sell it by.
Well, you have like 28 days for that. I thought you'd be more excited about getting your construct done.
Oh, I mean, I can do that too. I just don't have the glowy doodad. I can't complete it until I have that.
Yeah, true. But you could have also contracted and get it all done around the same time.
Fine!
It's
I'll do
whatever
that.
you
I work on
wanna do.
stuff. How about that?
Fine. Just roll your arcane check and then we'll get back to the rest.
Ooh!
Hey.
24.
Alright, you are making much progress during this. Everyone else, what are you doing?
I go to a secluded place and cast Find Familiar.
That takes, what, an hour to do?
Yeah, 1 hour and 6 seconds.
Are you telling your compatriots what you're
Yeah,
doing?
well, I'm telling them I'm going to be casting a ritual.
Alright, you begin the ritual process. What is your intended result? Are you going for a specific animal?
Yeah, let me check the little list. I can remember offhand what you can get. Probably going to go with Raven because they're really versatile. I always pick a Raven. I'm very unoriginal.
But they're ravens, so it's okay.
Fine.
We'll just say the one Climb was using was prestidigitation.
I'm familiar.
What are you two doing while you're doing this ritual?
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna be organizing my stuff since I got enough stuff, and then I'm gonna take it outside of town. Just stay outside of town. Not spending money, even though I got some left. I don't know what he's. I know what he's kind of doing, but
You're leaving town now? Is that what you said?
I'm not going like far out of town. I mean, I'm just going like right outside.
I thought you might have. Okay, so I will just say you're at least the two of you are outside of town, so you can perform this ritual.
Yeah, I'm going to summon a Raven.
All right. What are you doing during this hour or two that they're doing this?
His ritual takes 6 hours, right?
1 hour.
1 hour? Oh. What time is it?
It's midday, but basically by the time everyone decides what they're doing, it a few hours would pass. But yeah, you're still in the midday area.
Do I have time for a long rest?
You'd be cutting it close if you plan on going to that meeting.
Long rest. You're doing it for the health, or
I think you're just doing it to
Spell
pass
slots.
time.
so? Because if it's for health, I'll heal you. So.
No, I'm actually doing it to get spell slots back. Because I cast a couple while fighting the boar. And just in case if I end up in a fight, which I probably will since I don't have the item, I was hoping to be able to regain.
Now, you do know that the fox wanted you to go into the woods to grab an orb. Mm-hmm. And while you didn't do that, you do know that during your travels at the Kobold Cave, one of the items collected was a drift globe. So if you wanted, you could try to pass that off. And just pretend you collected it.
I want to stop by.
I don't know who had the glove. I'm just saying someone
Yeah, I
has
think
it,
Joe
and that
did.
was an option.
I think Skull had it. I'm gonna stop by Mystical Marvin's.
Okay. What's wrong, Adam?
No.
You go to Marvin's place. Upon entering, he gives you the normal showy effect as you enter. Welcome back, Fenris. Wait, he didn't know your name. Welcome back there, sir.
You knew my name. Oh, he must be magic.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I was wondering if I could bother you for a specific kind of item.
What did you have in mind?
Do you have any magical orbs?
He says, yes, I've, depending on what you're looking for. He points to the shelf. You know at one point Skull interacted one on it. That one is an orb of time. It basically gives you a forecast of the days of it. So if it's cloudy, it'll show up cloudy. If it's daylight or raining, the weather inside the orb changes. The one next to it is an orb of direction. Good for if you're getting lost. I've also got, points to another one. That one over there is a drift globe. Light.
Jesus.
And next to it I have a darkness globe. It emits, well, darkness.
Surprises light sword.
Those are definitely the cheaper ones I have. But if you're wanting something a little more fancy, I know at one point you were interested in scrying. I could sell you a crystal ball. But that's a bit pricey. I'm not sure how much you've got on.
No.
How much
You're saying
is
you want this for a side.